Hey fam, welcome or welcome back. Tisha here, back for another recap of Heart and Hustle Houston. This is season 1, episode 3. Very cutesy, very demure. Go ahead and do me a favor and hit that like button. That like button helps me get this out there. And the more that you like it, the more people get it in their algorithm. So do me a favor, hit that button. Overall, great episode once again. I see the things that are building up here. My favorites in this episode were Labrina and Ro. Ro is growing on me. At first, I couldn't figure her out because we didn't get a lot in the first episode, but it seems like with each episode, she's giving us more. And I appreciate her honesty and how much she's allowing us to see. So, we begin this episode with, matter of fact, let me pull up this graphic so we can remember these names. We begin this episode with Chloe. Now she's on the phone filling in Row about how Elena said that her husband wouldn't be caught with somebody like her. And she didn't hear this from Elena herself. Instead, Latoya told her. They both think that that comment is taking it too far. And I do think that Elena has a way of putting digs out there. And I don't know if she realizes or not, but she was even doing it later on in the episode. So Chloe isn't sure if she's going to bring it up to her or not, but Ro feels like at some point she should, especially because it wasn't something that she said to her. It was something that she said behind her back. If the roles were reversed and I was in this situation and I was being told this information and I was Ro, I probably would have said the same thing. I would have been like, girl, get that situation straight, find out what's going on. That way this thing doesn't fester. So I do agree. Ro is like, nip it in the bud, so it doesn't get any worse. So we go from that to Labrina. Now, Labrina has shut down her spa, the Escape Spa, to allow the ladies to have a private wellness experience. She lets us know that her business has grown from this very small space in the inner city of Houston to a 6,000 square foot building in the suburbs of Cypress, Texas. When you tell me heart and hustle, this is what I want to see. There is nothing like seeing this businesswoman who has this beautiful, from the parts of it that we can see, large facility where she is offering many things, because she lets us know they do all types of massages, they do corrective skincare, oxygen treatments, and they have a contrast bathing. Now, I don't know what that is, but apparently it's something like a huge jacuzzi meets pool situation going on. If you don't, put it down below. I could have looked it up, but I didn't. Either way, the place looks nice. Like, even in the area where they can get like their charcuterie stuff, like the bottles set up along the wall, there was a lot of detail that went into that building. So we find out that she did not invite Elena or Chloe because they're having issues. And apparently, I guess it's gotten back to the whole group, because the last they saw, they worked it out. So I'm not sure how Labrina knows this, but either way, she knows. So Latoya is sitting there as she looks at Maneria. I feel like I keep saying her name wrong, but they don't really say her name. And she says that she looks cutesy because she has on like an oversized sweats with, a crossbody. Her hair is out and things of that nature. Now, for whatever reason, she doesn't like being told that she looks cute. I have a friend who always, because of him, he used to say, don't say that, the kids look cute. You cute is for monkeys. Say that the boys are handsome. That whenever I hear that, that's what I think of. But that's not, what everybody thinks of. I don't know what it does to her, but she doesn't like it, because she goes from telling her she looks cutesy to saying that she looks like she's 11. So she's like, no, not 11. So she's like, Latoya's like, okay, 22. She fixes it, but it's obvious that Maneria feels like it's a dig. So we see the ladies split up. Ro and Maneria, Is it Monera or Monera? I'm gonna say Monera because I feel like I'm calling a disease. Monera. Ro and Monera, forgive me. I'm going to try to listen really closely to see if somebody says her name. And I'm going to try to write down the phonetic spelling so I know how to say it right. Ro and Monera get massages. Latoria and Labrina are catching up by the water. Now, Labrina brings up at the rodeo, we saw that guy. What's up with you and him? Um, what's going on? So Labrina is trying to like get her to reach out to the guy or something. So Latoria tells us that she wants, a guy with substance, like somebody who is spiritually grounded and things of that nature. She lets Labrina know that she knows him from work. He does a lot of stuff with media and news. That was her first time seeing him outside of a suit. They've texted a few times, but that's about the extent of it. So, with the encouragement of her friend, she calls him, makes small talk, and ends up inviting him to meet her for happy hour. Um, I'm not mad at her shooting her shot, but I much would have rathered him to invite her or to call her. Either way, Labrina is in the background, like, yeah, girl, do that. Flirt with him. Ask him this, ask him that. It's rooting her on. It's funny. I laugh because it's something that I could see myself doing with a group of friends, like encouraging them to do something. Maybe not to call a man and ask him out, but encourage him to do something. He ends up telling her that he would love to, but this weekend he can't do it because he's out of town. And then the other weekend he's doing his birthday, but he does want to do it. So she's like, okay, so what we'll do is, you'll let me know where you want to go and we'll meet up and we'll have birthday drinks. Girl, that kind of implies like you're going to pay for it. You got to watch how you word things. Anyways, so that's the end of that. Ro and Monera join the ladies for some drinks and charcuterie. And when she says charcuterie wrong, Latoya's like, say that word again. And Monaria isn't trying to do it. So apparently, Monaria doesn't drink a lot of alcohol. That's fine, to each his own. I have friends that don't drink anything at all. I don't really feel like it's that big of a deal. There are times where I haven't drinking anything at all. I went a whole year before without drinking. It's not that big of a deal. Anyways, they're offering, she's showing them the different champagnes they have. And Labrina's like, Monera, we also have like fresh squeezed drinks if you want to do that. So she's like, Latoria's like, yeah, get your apple juice because she's not a drinker. It wouldn't be an issue for me, but because they don't seem like they're those type of friends, it's definitely an issue for Monaria. And Monaria is over it. She's like, it's getting on her nerves. So she wants her to kind of stop. Now, she doesn't say all of that right there, but she wants her to stop. So Labrina explains that, I'm glad y'all came. I didn't invite the other ladies because I wanted this to be chill, but I do feel like we should all get together. So I'm going to invite them as well as, you guys as men, and y'all just come to this pool party at my house. Ro then brings up that Chloe let her know that one of the ladies were talking mess about her and she found out from another lady, and that lady is Latoria. It's very much so giving that Latoria is going to be the one that has issues with a lot of these women. I don't know how long they're going to drag it out though. So Latoria's like, I don't consider it mess, but when Elena was at my house, she did say that Chloe can't get a man like mine. Latoria, how would you not think that that would cause an issue, or that wasn't a dig, or that wasn't mess? That definitely would be seen as such, especially since the ladies already were kind of going at it, right? Sorry y'all, my head hurting from it being up. um She tells us that she doesn't even think Elena really meant anything by it, that it wasn't personal, that it's obvious that Elena has a wall up and it has nothing to do with them. Keep that in mind, because here you are saying that Elena has a wall up because because of what's going on in her personal life. And then later on, you in for whatever reason suggest that what's her name? Chloe do a vow renewal, like do the event of a vow renewal, like set up the decor and stuff. It makes absolutely no sense. We'll get to it. So they go from talking about the rodeo man and that conversation to when the girls went out for dinner. It's clear that Latoria is uncomfortable with talking about sex with these ladies. She doesn't want to talk about the toys. She doesn't want to talk about the different things that are going on. She says it's sacred to her. We get a clip of it. We also get a clip of her saying that it's been 3 years since she's had relations. And in order to change the subject, because it was a heavy conversation, she said that she's a woman of God. This, for whatever reason, made Ro feel like she had to kind of censor herself and like she couldn't be herself around Latoria because she felt like she was making her uncomfortable and she doesn't want to do that. I think that when it comes to this type of situation, what Ro needs to do is to just take notes of people's comfort level. There are friends that you are going to be able to be your complete self with, and you can talk about every little thing with them. And then there are others that may be put into a different box. It seems like Latoria needs to be put into a different box, and that's okay. Everybody doesn't have to like to do the same things. There's nothing wrong with being transparent. You just have to realize that different people will be transparent about different things. And just because someone isn't telling you something doesn't mean that they are being inauthentic. It's a whole bunch of stuff that I could say up here on this platform that I will never say. And it's not because I'm inauthentic, it's because I got a son. It's because I have family members who may watch and I don't need them to know certain things. So, you got to kind of take that with it too. Like at the end of the day, this is going to be seen worldwide. Hopefully you'll get to that point, but it's going to be seen all over the place. And there are certain conversations that I know, if I think about it, that I've had with friends that I would never want to be filmed. So I just think, just show each other a little bit of grace when it comes to that. So Latoria heads over to Chloe's. Chloe feels slighted because she was not invited to the spa event. She feels like the issue with her and Elena shouldn't have prevented her from being able to go. I agree with Chloe in that. I do not think it was fair to be like, neither one of you all could come. I feel like Labrina should have mentioned to them, like, can we all just make sure that we get along, because this is my place of business, because it seems like they behave themselves at your home. So what's the difference between your home and that business? So they talk about the rodeo man again. She's not feeling it because she talks about how he doesn't really seem to be putting forth any extra effort, that it's going to be a whole 2 weeks before they even can have drinks. Like, she wishes that he would have suggested something else. Latoria then tells Chloe how she was caught off guard by Ro saying that she can't be herself around her. Chloe is shocked because she feels like Latoria disclosed a lot to Ro. She can't believe that Ro is being sensitive about that one situation when it comes to sex. Now Latoria is feeling like she's being misunderstood the same way she was in school. All of these ladies have unresolved things from when they were younger or when they were in their careers, because that's the situation, in my opinion, with Monera. So Chloe encourages her not to switch things up, not to back off, be who she is, and kind of work this thing out with Ro. So we get to Maneri and Ro meeting up to talk about Latoria. Manera is irritated. Oh, I said it, Manera again. Manera is irritated about the digs about her looking young. I gotta be honest with you guys. She doesn't look young to me. And I'm not trying to insult her in any way. This is coming from someone who's been told before that I do not look my age. She doesn't look young to me. She looks like she's in the same age group as the rest of these ladies. Like, it's not giving young. It's giving that you're petite, but it's not giving young. But whatever else, it bothers her. Part of that reason for her may be because she's had to prove herself in the workplace for the very reason of the way that she looks. That has so much more to do with you just looking young. That also has to do with the fact that you are of a certain descent, as well as the fact that you're a woman. But it goes back to what I'm saying with the various experiences that we have in life. They really do have this way of reappearing themselves in it. How am I trying to say this? Like, the stuff that you go through when you're younger, if it's unresolved, really has this way of creeping back up in adult life and showing itself in places that you wouldn't even think that they show. Like, we like to use the word triggered a lot. It's just a reminder of things that we may have suppressed or been through, and I think that's what happens a lot of times. And people, because we don't do the work to work through those, when it happens, we get what am I trying to say? I don't want to say we get defensive, but sometimes there's either defense, or you put up this block to protect yourself from allowing it to hurt or harm you the way it may have previously. So we see Ro going to therapy for the first time and she's nervous. That is a big step, especially for her to make on TV, which goes back to me saying that with each episode, I'm finding myself liking Ro more because I feel like Ro is giving us a lot of herself. So she meets with a woman by the name of Dr. Angela Jones, who she gets her information from Elena. She immediately lets her know, like, look, Ro, whatever we talk about in this situation is up to you. Nothing is forced. If you are uncomfortable or you don't want to talk about it, let me know. Love that, because she's establishing right away for Ro, this is a safe space. I'm not going to push you more than you want to be pushed. Ro has so much going on and she has no one to talk to. And that's part of what she wants to do with this. Dr. Angela is listening to her. She wants to know why everyone and everything seems to come before Ro. She sees it like Ro has everything in its own box. It's all compartmentalized. And what Ro isn't realizing is that at some point, all those different boxes will mesh together. And she's just now, Ro is realizing that that's exactly what's happening. She talks about that even with her daughter, she's noticed it, because sometimes she has to slow down when she's frustrated about work. And Sophia is trying to interact with her. And there have been times where she kind of was like, Sophia, leave me alone. I'll talk to you later. And then she came back and was like, you know what, son? Excuse me, you know what, daughter? I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. What do you want to talk about? Because she's seeing that that's something that she needs to work on. And Dr. Angela gives her credit for recognizing that. And when she said it, I was like, I think we've all been guilty of that. I know I myself have done it. So last week alone, I was so irritated with the different things that have been going on with work in the past 2 weeks, I should say, because we have this new program and it's causing all these issues with things that were never a problem before, which is causing work to back up and things to be more complicated and things of that nature. And I come home and I just didn't feel like being bothered. Plus, I was getting ready for, my brother's baby shower and all these other things. And it was just so much going on. And my son is coming in the room to talk to me. And my son, really, like, we only get to see each other but so many hours out the day if I'm at work, and most of the time, by the time I come home, he's going to work. When do you get to talk? And here you are like, son, can you leave me alone, because I just need time to just shh. When there's going to be a time, because my child is 18, where he doesn't want to talk to me and lay at the ottoman of my bed and have a conversation. So I feel like we all need to work on slowing down. And listening to Ro talk, it did make me think of that. Ro feels like because she talks about the ladies and her frustration with them, some of them, and how she feels like she's being authentic, but they aren't. She feels like a lot of them are showing up with masks on. And Dr. Angela tells her, look, the way that you are and the type of person that you are will move inauthentic people out of the way. Dr. Angela challenges her to find a way to connect with each one of the ladies by relating to a part of them, because she feels like that will help the authentic part of the relationship develop, and it will be tailored to her. That's interesting advice. She just wants her to find a way to connect with each woman without like picking apart what it is that they are saying to her, is what I'm gathering from it. You guys tell me what you think. So we are back at Labrina and Will's beautiful home. Just allow us to enjoy the home. Like, take a little bit more time to do that aerial view of the beauty of the green grass and the land and the home and the barn and the horses that are out just grazing happily, and the vibe. Like, their home is beautiful. Just leave me with that aerial shot for a little bit longer so I can relax while I look at it. So we got the pool, and they're going to have crawfish. They have a caterer that they always use to come in and handle the boil. So Chloe and Jordan are late, but they arrive, and she thinks that all eyes are on her because her man is fine. Because she thinks her man is fine. Um, I just it's beauty is in the eye of the beholder. He is attractive, but I don't think that I would use the word fine. But then there are people that I think are fine that other people may not think are fine. So I get it. Like, what's his name? The Aquaman? Jason, I think that's his name. The guy who plays Aquaman. The guy who, yeah, I think he's fine. I do. I don't know why, but I do. I think that Idris Elba is fine. Yes, I always love me some Idris. Like, there are some guys that I think are fine that others may not feel like are fine. And that's okay. But Chloe is acting like he's super, super fine. He's attractive, he's handsome, but I wouldn't say fine. Anyways, I'm also somebody who is very attracted to your mental. What do they call a sapiosexual? I think that's what they call it. That's me. And if it's not, don't hold me to it. Just know I'm attracted to more than just looks. So, she claims all the ladies' jaws dropped, even the married ones, when they saw him, if you say so. Elena has already expressed that she and her husband have been having problems. And for whatever reason, Latoya asked if they would renew their vows and let Chloe decorate. Josh says that he feels like it would have to be a major milestone. So they said, well, what do you think one would be? And he said 20 years. While Elena feels like with everything that she's been through, he should be saying 15. Elena said that he cheated, but the way she presented it was like it happened a couple years before what they got married, while they were engaged. So what else have you been through? Like, what aren't you telling us? I'm gonna get tired of this thing being dragged along, Elena. I need to know if he recently cheated, if you're gonna keep talking about it. So everyone sits down to eat, and Elena's like, I want to go back to what we were saying while we were at the pool. um why shouldn't we be doing a celebration at the 15-year mark? And I'm going to say, because y'all are still not even sleeping with each other. What exactly are you celebrating if you want him to go to counseling still and all these other things? I'm kind of with him. 15 doesn't sound like it's feasible right now. So she says, we were supposed to do something at 10, but we didn't because of the pandemic. And I just feel like we should be doing something sooner. Chloe interjects and says, with the things that she's been through, she wouldn't put it off, that 20 years isn't guaranteed. And given that her husband passed after 2 months of them being married, I can see why she would say that. They talk about their different weddings, how simple some were, how some went viral, and how some were very luxurious. Chloe says she got married in a Fashion Nova dress at the courthouse. And if she were to be married to Jordan, it would be the same thing. I'm guessing she's saying she doesn't need anything over the top. Um, and that for her, it's about love. Elena asked Chloe, like, would you marry Jordan? And she says, yes. Jordan is so intentional about her. Of course she would. So Labrina is like to us that she wants to make sure that Jordan is there for the right reason. So she's going to kind of talk to him later. Elena then makes a dig, in my opinion. Y'all tell me what you think, because she says that she and her husband got married at 23 and 24. And where she is now, she cannot see her, that means the age she is now, dating someone that's so much younger than her. I personally feel the same way, but it doesn't really matter because we aren't the ones that have to date this man. Jordan feels like he comes across as older than he is. He was like, do I look like I'm 28 to you? And Elena's like, no, you look like you're 25. Elena, that man didn't look 25. She proceeds to say that there are men in high school that look like him. I said there are some guys that look extra old, but we're not gonna say that he don't look like a baby. The beard makes him look like he is 28. I wouldn't put him at 25. So the other ladies say that he does give a mature vibe. Chloe's like, I thought he was like 33. I personally am surprised Chloe didn't go off on her in that moment. So we see Labrina pull Jordan to the side to fill him out. She's doing what a lot of friends would do. He says he can see himself with Chloe. He's not trying to waste Chloe's time. He wouldn't have cut off all the others, and he kind of caught himself. He wouldn't have cut off everybody else if he wasn't being serious. They've been around each other's children, and Labrina feels like he has good intentions, but she doesn't know how it's all going to work out. We then get to Ro and the ladies. She lets them know that she went to therapy. She fills them in on her homework and how she's supposed to connect with each one of them. Latoria let her know that the whole woman of God comment was a joke, that she was not uncomfortable. If she was, she would have let her know. Next thing, Maneria wants to know why she could say that were her, but she can't understand that saying she looks like she's 11 or 12 is a problem, and the apple juice is a problem. And she keeps on saying it. And Latoria's like, no, I didn't. I said it twice. And she's like, no, it's been more than that. You need to come up with another joke. It came across as shady. And Latoria says, okay, I won't come up with no jokes when it comes to you. We can agree to disagree. I'm done with it. I'm with her. I'm done with it too. I just feel like you already expressed it to her. Did she say anything slick at this event? I don't remember her saying anything slick except for I don't remember her saying anything slick at this event. So just let it go. Ro tells Latoria as they walk off that you don't know what triggers her. I did like that Ro said that because she doesn't know what triggers her. And I feel like a lot of these ladies don't. And it seems like some of them have had long friendships and some are just getting to know each other. So there's some differences there. Latoria receives it and feels like she saw a target and she went for it, which is now going to be her. Okay, Latoria, you aren't a victim in this situation. And all you got to do is just, if she says she doesn't want you to do that anymore, just don't do it anymore and call it a day. I hope this doesn't drag out. If there's something that I didn't talk about that you want to, feel free to put it down below. Like the video as it helps the channel. Until next time.